This week on Bike People, we have a blast. We learn about the High Trestle Trail bridge and the attractions around it. And Suzette puts her foot down. All that and more straight ahead on Bike People. Bike People is brought to you in part by the Des Moines Bicycle Collective promotes bicycling as a means of active transportation, wellness, and recreation in central Iowa. The Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, working to protect and restore Iowa's land, water, and wildlife. Bike Iowa, your source for Iowa bicycle rides, events, and news, connecting cycling with Iowa community since 2001.
My name is Forrest. I got my first bike at age 3, my next bike at age 7. I've ridden in Europe, Australia, and all across our great nation.
My name is Suzette. I'm a mom, TV personality,
I have no excuse.
and bike lover. I've known Forrest for years, from interviews, rides, and bike events.
Things up for Raglar this year.
I'm in the bicycle business and a cycling enthusiast. I've been collecting, fixing, and selling bikes my whole life.
We love bikes and all the people, stories, and adventures around them.
We're on a journey to show you the world through two wheels.
To help you become
Bike People.
Welcome to Bike People. This week we take time out to learn about the High Trestle Trail Bridge. We visit the Iowa Arboretum, the Madrid Historical Museum, and then we learn about the depot at the Woodward Trailhead.
Well, here you went on the Stomp ride. You went to the Snooze Hill Winery. You went to the Fat Tire Lounge. I'm sensing a trend here.
That's right. I love to support local businesses and wine.
The second part was the trend that I was really seeing.
Well, moving on, why don't we start out with the High Trestle Trail Bridge. For those of you at home who haven't seen it, you're going to learn a lot today. Well, the High Trestle Trail runs between Woodward and Ankeny, and it's about 25 miles. It goes through Slater, Madrid, and Sheldall. It's such an amazing sight. The bridge itself is 13 stories high, half a mile long, and it goes over the Des Moines River Valley. It's one of the longest trail bridges in the world.
It's also really neat because it features 6 overlooks with informational panels, so you get more information about that entire area. On the west side of the bridge, there's an overlook area where you can learn even more about the history, the railway that the trail has been built upon.
Did you know that in 1912, Madrid had become the 24th largest coal producer in Iowa? And then the architects at RDG incorporated that heritage in the design of the artwork. For instance, the portals on each end represent the geology of the area, and then the 41 upright frames over the bridge represent coal support cribs.
Well, I think the most important part is don't forget to come out after dark and take a moonlight ride. You'll really experience the bridge and its awesome lights.
As we mentioned, the High Trestle Trail starts in Woodward, and so do we.
Let's do it.
I hear that you are the guy that can tell me anything I want to know about the depot, which is what we're sitting in front of here.
Well, I can tell you a lot, yes. What I know of the depot comes from memories even during World War II, the passenger service had ceased in Woodward.
Oh.
And I had brothers that served, and they had to catch the passenger train at the depot in Madrid or in Perry. At that time, this depot did not provide passenger service. But the next thing I could recall would be about 1950, when I was in junior high age, I carried newspapers and a morning route, and I would pick up my newspapers for delivery right here at the old depot when it was still a 2-story structure. And the Hiawatha passenger train dropped threw those papers off.
They weren't stopping.
They weren't stopping. They just came rushing through, And
Why wouldn't they stop? I don't understand that. That doesn't
there
make-
was nothing here for them to stop for as far as passenger service. And it was just quicker for them to just throw it out. And I presume it came out of the mail car. Usually it ran before we got down here, and we could pick up our papers maybe 100 feet either direction of the depot, because they weren't always on target.
Oh my gosh.
But then I do recall, if they were running late, of seeing the door open and the papers come flying out of the...
Good thing you weren't delivering milk or something, right?
That's true. That's true. They didn't deliver passengers that way.
I understand that you are part of the group that got the trail going.
Yeah, Envision Woodward, we started in about 2005, and realistically, I don't know if we got the trail going as much as we got the Woodward trailhead going. When we heard the project was coming through in 2005, we started doing a lot of cleanup work. There was massive amounts of debris left over from old railroad buildings, so we started removing that as a group, and then the railroad right-of-way was about a 100-foot wide strip, and this old depot building was on property that was not purchased as part of the trail project. So we started in 2007 to negotiating with the private property owners to acquire this structure, because we really felt this would be a real gem and set off our trailhead.
How has this affected the town and its growth?
Oh, I think it's been absolutely positive. I mean, the number of cars you see, Envision Woodward was also responsible for, in addition to acquiring the depot, we got a grant for paving the parking lot. And it's a 16 stall parking lot, but on weekends, the parking goes well beyond that.
Yeah.
So it's heavily used. So there's and you'll see bikes up and down Main Street. Obviously the city's put in bike racks all along Main Street, so a lot of businesses are benefiting from it. There's new businesses like the bicycle repair shop,
Right.
Bikes Inc., and then the new restaurant going in just next door. So
Now, will it extend in any other direction?
the trail,
yeah.
the hope is that it would go over to Perry and connect with the Raccoon River Valley Trail
Okay.
in that direction. So,
And how many miles is that?
oh boy, that one I'm not even sure, 27 or more. The Raccoon River Valley Trail goes from Perry and it connects all the way down to like the Clive Greenbelt Trail
Right.
along Hickman Road and Highway 6. So it's a big loop.
So we could basically have a biking, walking, running interstate.
Yes, yeah. I mean it would be
love
massive.
I would love that.
Uh-huh.
We could have a rag ride all on trail.
Yep.
Not sure how we'd all fit, but that would happen. Thank you so much for your work and for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been fun to chat.
Thank you.
If you really want to learn more about the High Trestle Trail Bridge and the surrounding area, you'll want to check out the Madrid Historical Museum. Well, thanks, Earl, for having me into the museum today. Let's have a little tour. We're really interested in the railway and the trestle bridge and how that all evolved.
Okay. Also, the connecting train from Des Moines went up twice a day for the east and west traffic from the Hiawatha to Des Moines.
Just transportation for passengers to and from there?
Passengers only.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They had freights through here, but we're just showing passengers
Now,
here.
this looks like the trestle bridge right here.
That's the 1912 bridge. It's supposed to be the longest in the world at the time. And you can see from the nice clean pedestals of the bridge that it was quite an early picture. Because later growth of all kinds grew up around the base.
The demolition was a part of our contract. We built a new bridge and then had demolition people that this is the work they did.
Unbelievable.
And they had to engineer it, and we told them the size, how much weight we could pick with our crane once it hit the ground.
On a bitter cold day in December 1973, the sound of the demolition warning horn echoed through the valley, announcing the structure's final 5 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not only do they have an extensive collection of information about the bridge, railway, and trains, they also have dolls, period clothing, and tons of other stuff. Oh yeah, and a coal mine in their basement. One of the most unique places we visited was the Iowa Arboretum, and it's just north of Madrid. We got a great tour of the facilities, their plants, their flowers. It gave me all kinds of great ideas, and I actually planted a bike.
Do you have a green thumb?
I do.
Well, I want to see how that bike grows. That's the proof will be in the pudding here.
Joe, it seems like we're out in the middle of nowhere, but we have a paradise here. We're at the Iowa Arboretum. Very cool. What's your job here?
I'm the horticulture project manager here at the Iowa Arboretum.
So how did this all evolve?
Well, back in the mid-'60s, there were a group of local people in a horticulture club that decided to get together and start an arboretum and purchased the original 40 acres that we're standing on. From there, it has expanded into what you see now. In addition to this 40 acres, we have another 338 total acres. In addition to this, with prairie lands across the street, 4-acre prairie that we've restored, and lots of woodland trails to walk on.
Now, why this area? Was it just that this is where the horticultural club was located?
I think this was sort of a central location. A lot of folks were in Boone and Madrid area, and I believe this was just where the land was available, and this was a chosen site based on the environment here.
What are you hoping that people will get out of a visit here?
I hope people will realize the value of trees, and this is a wonderful place to come and relax and sort of listen to the silence.
We're in the prairie. It's one of my favorite landscapes. If I could have my entire yard look like this, I would, but I'm not sure if my neighbors would be happy about it. But it's gorgeous. It's just amazing. How did this all begin?
Well, once again, it was farmland, and back in 1992, basically cleaned this out and then restored it all to natural prairie. And Iowa State University comes out and they do prescribed burns, and then they study the revegetation process. So this is the research aspect of the Arboretum. We do a lot of conservation and research, and this is sort of both of those tied together so that people can come out and see what Iowa looked like many years ago before a lot of it was turned into farmland.
I love this fairy garden. I saw this earlier, and my kids would love something like this, so I'm going to have to make this happen at my house. What can we find here in the Visitor Center?
Well, we do have a lot of local artists that we do consignment work with. There's also a little bit of our history in some of the bookcases behind us. But yeah, it's just a wonderful place to come out. We do have local winery wine, and like I said, we support a lot of local artists.
And there's a space also for education here too?
Yeah,
great.
We have a room that holds about 200 people, oftentimes used for meetings, weddings, receptions, things like that. So plenty of different types of facilities, not only outside but also inside for the public.
This is fantastic. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, no visit to Madrid or the High Trestle Trail Bridge would be complete without a stop at the Flat Tire Lounge, and I got to sit down with one of the owners, Scott Olson.
We're kind of back to that trend thing again. I can see it coming again.
You and a few of your friends got together and opened up the Flat Tire Lounge right here on the trail, that was such a smart choice. Let's talk a little bit about the building. It clearly was not built originally to be a bar. Just a guess.
Nope. When we started to lease the building, it's still owned by Kurt Perkins Electric. And he kept all of his electrical equipment and everything in here with that. And I believe before he owned it, when the railroad tracks were in, it was a feed storage building. And then we kind of just took everything out of it and put the bar up.
When you saw it, you said, that is a bar for bikers.
Absolutely. And the location, know, is number one thing.
You know,
Location,
honestly,
location,
now
location.
since you guys opened up, and I remember coming in for the first time and said, "This is brilliant." And now every time I ride down the trail, I look for old buildings and say, "I wonder if we could put a bar there." You know, I mean, it's just I'm sure you're making you know, making money and having fun, and you're providing entertainment and a great place for people to stop. Well, 2 days later, I was back in Madrid and I stopped at the Trailside Rentals. Great place. Wanted to see what it was all about.
Real fun place. I was up there with Mark earlier this season, saw some bikes from the 70s. When I first started riding bicycles and got in the bicycle business, brought back some great memories.
You have Trailside Rentals, and all people have to do is just give you a call if they want to rent any kind of bike. Basically.
Any kind of bike. We have hybrids, beach cruisers, we have some TerraTrikes, and we got TerraTrike tandem bikes, regular tandem bikes. We have a lot of kids' bikes.
How long has this been open?
We've been open since, it's probably about a year. Last fall, we were just kind of just sending the word out to everybody that we started off renting wheelchairs. There's a large nursing home called the Madrid Home in Madrid, and there's been a lot of demand for people with disabilities or just can't walk that far from the parking lot to the bridge on the High Trestle Trail to see that. So we've been offering that service, and it kind of grew into, oh, maybe we should have a few bikes to rent too. And I've always been a hobbyist ever since I was a kid. I could tear a bike apart and put it back together, and so
It just seemed natural.
Yeah, it just seemed natural. I've ridden trails, you know, all over the state, and each one's got its own uniqueness and identity. And the people you meet on the trail are probably the friendliest people you ever met. And all ages. It's just great seeing people in their 80s and 90s on the trail, all the way down to little kids, and all have a smile on their face.
Absolutely.
So this is a fantastic thing for the state of Iowa. I think we are definitely the trail capital of the United States.
Well, I've heard that per capita that we have more trails than any other state in the Union.
And this short time we've had our business open, it's amazing. We've had people from North Carolina specifically come out to see our trails. People from Washington State, Seattle have come here specifically to see our trails. And from Europe, there's people from France who came over to see our trail system, and that is just, you know, saying a lot for Iowa. So I think we have a good thing going.
We have, and they're so well kept. You know, some are easier to ride than others. Trestle is certainly the smoothest that I know.
Right.
But they're just, you know, it just makes it, like you said, accessible to everybody.
Trailside Rentals is a great service for folks that want to stop up and ride for just a few hours.
Well, I was really glad I got to meet him. We talked for a little bit longer, and then I was off to do the Stomp ride.
That sounds like fun.
After a little bit of riding, we ended up at the Flat Tire Lounge, again talking to people who were involved in the Stomp ride, which is a fundraiser and a registration event for families who have bone marrow cancer.
That's certainly a worthwhile event.
What brings you guys out today?
Well, actually, it was my birthday Friday, and these guys said, let's do a ride for the birthday.
Now, are you a family?
We are.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Cool. And you've done I think this last year was maybe the first year for the Stomp ride?
Was it?
This is our first.
Our first time?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I didn't get a t-shirt, darn it. Why are you not wearing yours? That's awesome.
I don't know. I had long sleeves on, so I had to change.
Now, when does the stomping actually happen? Is that at the end of the ride? Okay. Kind of keep everybody semi-clean, right?
Yeah. 2 to 4, I think, back at the winery.
Okay. How's the ride been so far?
It's pretty good. I was going to say that they've got a 2-year-old, so we're just going to pick him up and stomp.
Oh!
So you might want to get that on tape, too.
Now, where's the 2-year-old?
He's with grandma.
Okay. And she'll be meeting us later.
Yeah.
This particular ride is to support a charity, cancer research, bone marrow. Did that have any impact on you deciding to do this ride today?
Well, our sister has a friend who needs a bone marrow transplant, and when we saw the flyer for it, she said this would be a good. She's not riding, but we decided to do it. And
well, apparently they're registering people.
Yes, back at the you can register to be bone marrow.
Wow, I hope everybody takes advantage of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, the turnout was great, so hopefully some good comes of it.
Well, thank you for your part in that. You know, other people could have just taken a ride on any other trail, but you registered and you paid, and now you're going to be registered bone marrow donor. So
it really wasn't my birthday.
Oh, right, that's right.
Cat out of the bag. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thanks. Enjoy the ride.
Hey, thanks everyone for coming out to Stomp Ride this beautiful afternoon. Who's having fun? Who's ready to stomp some grapes? We are Survival Association of Iowa. This organization was started in memory of my older sister Lisa, who lost her battle with leukemia in 2005. And she had a bone marrow transplant, and we learned through her experience that there's not a lot of resources out there for people going through those types of treatments. Our whole mission is to help Iowans who are fighting bone marrow diseases, bone marrow cancers, things like that.
It's not like this just for Stomp Ride, it's like this every weekend. It's a get-together with bands, wine tasting, local caterers come out and make great food.
I can't wait to try out that pizza. That's my kind of pizza. Thin crust, looked very good.
Delicious. Great for the entire family. Bocce ball? Who knew? I also had a chance to talk to the owner of Snooze Hill Winery and got a little sneak peek at the winery itself.
It looked like part of that tour included a little tasting. I think that was right up your alley.
It was, Forrest. You guys have been so busy today. Great cause. Trying to get people to register to be bone marrow donors, right? And I registered. Pretty proud of myself. Feels pretty good.
Very good.
This is a beautiful venue. You've got lovely wine tasting. The wines are fantastic. It's been just a great day.
Well, we really appreciate when they came and asked us if we would do something like this. We said sure. And for us, it's a way for us to give back to the community and to help somebody that, you know, the cost of just being out of a job when you have something like a bone marrow transplant that you're going through. If you have a child that's going through that, a parent's going to have to be there. And for us to help this, I mean, this goes to the family. There's so much money that's raised for research, but there's very little money that actually goes to the actual individuals.
That's amazing. So that's part of that money is going right directly to the families, like you said?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
They pick a couple of them out that that they feel that's really in need. And they have one that I believe he's from up in Ames, and he's going through chemotherapy or bone marrow transplant right now up in, I believe, Mayo.
That's a big deal. I mean, I know as a parent myself, I can't take off work. You know, I mean, and it's so difficult. You know, I don't know how I would do it. So people like you are making it happen.
Well, we love it. I mean, it brings in new people for us, so we benefit from that. But it's also, it's really not about how much we make. It really isn't. In a case like this, when you listen to the gentleman who had one about a year and a half ago, I mean, I almost start crying when I think about what he was saying. When you have a 10-year-old daughter and you don't know whether you're going to live or die, and to be able to raise money for something like this that can help the individual families, it really is worthwhile.
This week has been about great spans, from one of the longest trail bridges to the differences in technology, from coal mining to providing DNA that could help save a life.
Well, next week we're headed to Vegas. We're going to check out the Interbike Bicycle Trade Show. We're here. This is it. We've made it all the way here. We're here to find out what's new and cool for 2013 in the bicycle industry. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know what they say about Las Vegas?
I know what you say. I'd like some ice cream with that pie.
Oh, what's your problem with that? And check us out on our Facebook and our webpage for more cycling tips and information.
And get on out there.
And become bike people.
You make white wine by throwing it through the crusher destemmer, you pump it through the press, and you put it down here in the tank. And we actually, at that point, start the winemaking process by adding yeast and nutrients. With the red wine, you don't do that, because if you do, you wind up with at best a light pink wine.
Oh.
So how you get the red is you run it through the crusher destemmer. You don't want the stems because they have really bitter tannin. And And then you pump them in fermenters, and ours are plastic bins that are about 4 by 4 by 4. And we do what's called knocking down the cap. So we run it through the crusher destemmer. You've got grapes in there that have been crunched up. It's the seeds, it's the skins, and it's the pulp, and it's the juice. And it's the skins. The contact of the juice with the skins is what actually extracts the color and the tannins. So we keep them in there about a week, and then we pump it in the press. But we've already added the yeast and the nutrients, so it's already started fermenting. And that's called a must at that point. But then we pump it into the press, and we press off the juice, and then we bring it down here into the tank and continue the fermentation.
You know, that's going to change the way I drink wine.
Well, you might say that's probably the reason a lot of red wines are a little more expensive. And they are a little more of a challenge, especially here in Iowa. We have such a cold, cool climate and a shorter growing season that the grapes that we can grow here, when it drops down so low in the wintertime, we can't grow Cabernet, we can't grow Chardonnay, or Merlot, any of those warm climate grapes. What we grow here are grapes that have been developed at the University of Cornell. A lot of them from Minnesota, University of Minnesota, and a gentleman who died a couple of years ago at 93 where he was still working in the vineyard. His name was Elmer Swenson.
Wow.
And he's really revolutionized the whole industry that we now can have wine grapes to make wine in Iowa.
That's amazing. What a great... I didn't know that at all. That's just such an interesting story that there's so much that goes into it, you know, and I will definitely not guzzle my wine.
Well, Snus makes everything from a very dry white called Chardonnay, which is similar to a Chardonnay, to a very sweet red. So we've got the whole gamut of sweet and dry, red and white wine. So when somebody walks in, we're crazy like we are today, we say red, white, sweet, or dry.
Now, is this like a permanent hair thing? Really? So it's not like curling iron?
Literally hair. That's it.
I don't know if I need it that bad. Wow. Realistic curls. Can you imagine being attached to this? That is something else.
Bike People is brought to you in part by the Des Moines Bicycle Collective promotes bicycling as a means of active transportation, wellness, and recreation in central Iowa. The Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, working to protect and restore Iowa's land, water, and wildlife. Bike Iowa, your source for Iowa bicycle rides, events, and news, connecting cycling with Iowa communities since 2001.
Thanks for watching Bike People. For more about us, like our Facebook page and
check out our website at www.bikepeople.tv.
subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bike People TV, all one word for behind the scenes looks.